Welcome dear viewers, this is RTD's English News Edition coming up. A signing ceremony of the Convention for the Grant of a Sodium Bromide project in Lake Assal. And on the national news as well, a tour of the Chinese military delegation at the Police Academy. On the international news, Donald Trump presented its strategy for Afghanistan. And now to the details of the evening edition. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, sent today, Tuesday, a message of congratulations to the King of Morocco, His Majesty Mohammed VI, whose country is celebrating these days the anniversary of the feast of the King and the Moroccan people. This feast is also dedicated to the youth of Morocco. I share the joy of the sister nation and friend of Morocco commemorating these days two events of the heroic resistance that it had formerly opposed to the colonial power to acquire its independence through the President of the Republic. The celebration of these events highlight the concepts of solidarity, social cohesion and unity of a whole people who argued its legitimate rights to freedom, has continued the head of state. I form the wishes to see the sister nation and friend of Morocco to fully succeed in its economic and social development and to achieve the prosperity, has also noted the head of state. The President Guelleh reiterated to the King Mohammed VI its determination as well as those of the people and the government of Djibouti to work in favor of strengthening the ties of friendship and cooperation existing between the two countries. The two countries and the two people maintain privileged links, has concluded President Guelleh. And one of our major stories, the Minister of the Energy, Mr. Younis Al-Gedi, has signed this morning in the Kempinski Hotel Palace with the CEO of the Chinese company Salt Investment the convention of the project for the establishment of a sodium bromide production plant in Lake Assal. This agreement, now finalized, will allow the company Salt Investment to start the construction of the factory the next month of October. The Chinese company will invest some $220 million for the construction of the factory. The work of construction of the plant will last for 2 years. In addition to the Minister of Energy, many responsible in executive of the department attended the signing ceremony of the agreement. The Economic Commercial Advisor in the Embassy of China in Djibouti, Mrs. Giwa, and the First Secretary of the Office, Mr. Xing Fangjing, also attended the signing ceremony of the agreement. In addition to the CEO of the company Salt Investment, Mr. Nani, its Director General, Mr. Shuhaif, and his Deputy, Mr. Chen Aibing, and Aisha Guelleh were also present. In speaking for this occasion, the Minister of Energy said that this project will have a significant impact on the economic development of Djibouti and will give our country a significant place on the industrial plan. This project will also generate financial flows contributing to the economic development of the country and will allow the creation of jobs, has continued the Minister. He then insisted on all these positive points, recalling the excellence of relations between Djibouti and the Republic of China. The ambassador of the Republic of Djibouti in Somalia, Aden Hassan Aden, was received yesterday Monday by the Prime Minister of Somalia, Hassan al-Khairi, with who he has discussed on the excellence of the relations existing between the two countries as well as the ways and means to further strengthen them. The Djiboutian diplomat has expressed its willingness for his country to multiply the bilateral agreements such as the agreement for cooperation in the field of postal and telecommunication signed last Thursday in Djibouti between the Minister of Djibouti of Communication, Mr. Abdi Yusuf Suge, and his Somali counterpart, Abdi Ansur. Mr. Aden Hassan Aden has stated its desire to expand this cooperation in all areas that can take part in the development of economic potential of the two countries. And for its part, the Somali Prime Minister said he is satisfied with the fraternal nature of historical relations between the two countries and the two fraternal people. Mr. Hassan Ali Khairi has taken advantage of this opportunity to welcome the role that plays in general Djiboutian diplomacy in the Horn of Africa, while welcoming particularly to the commitment of the Republic of Djibouti to the pacification and stabilization of his country through the presence of the Côte Djibouti, Hil Walal, and the African Mission in Somalia, AMISOM. An important delegation of the military high command of China has begun a working visit in Djibouti. The commander of the Chinese base in Djibouti, General Liang Yang, accompanies this delegation, which had its first discussions with the commander of the National Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi. At his arrival at the Police Academy at Negat, the Chinese military delegation has received a warm welcome with honor of the National Police and with greeting of the flag. A working visit that began with a first meeting, during which a general presentation on the various missions and activities of the police has been made to the profits of the military delegation of China by the senior officers of the National Police. This visit of General Liang Yang has coincided with ceremony marking the end of a basic training of 2 years of 162 new recruits of the National Police. These young people benefited during these 2 years a core learning complete prior to integrate the different variety of the institution. A summary presentation of the different missions of the National Police through the national territory was also made. The visit of the delegation has been closed by a meeting of shooting demonstrations and a lunch break offered on this occasion by the Director General of the Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi Farah.
Travers le territoire a été également faite durant cette cérémonie. La visite de la délégation militaire chinoise de l'Académie de police Idriss Faria s'est clôturée par une séance de démonstration de tir. Et un pause déjeuner offert à cette occasion.
In an interview he granted as the Director General of the National Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi welcomed the visit of the General Liang Yang, the commander of the Chinese base stationed in Djibouti. He has indicated that Sino-Djibouti relations develop day by day in all areas. The department delegate in charge of trade, Ali Hassan, in partnership with the Institute of the Leather of Comesa, has closed Sunday the training on the products of the leather in the premises of the League. This training had started on last 14 August. The beneficiaries of this training are mainly Djiboutian artisans who came from 5 regions of the interior. The closing ceremony of this training has been chaired by the Secretary General of the Ministry Delegate for Trade, Ali Daoud Abdu, and so the participation of the Director of the Crafts, Abdel and trainees and experts from the Institute of Leather of the Comesa. During 6 days, the Djiboutian artisans have benefited therefore an accelerated training concerning the work of the leather and were able to produce at the outcome of this training a few products made of leather such as shoes, bags or belts. In a word pronounced on this occasion, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Commerce, Ali Daoud Abdu, has indicated that this seminar on the leather is a first in Djibouti and is a part of the continuity of the efforts made by the government in order that the crafts can play its role in the socio-economic conditions of the country.
Afin que l'artisanat
As well, this Tuesday, 22 August 2017, the NGO Peace and Milk has organized at its headquarters a closing ceremony of an important training workshop in government and the establishment of cooperative manager of mini dairy in Djibouti. The objective of this training workshop for the farmers of Djibouti is to strengthen organizational capacities of the trade and as well mini dairy, which will be very shortly put in place. This project aims to improve the food security and livelihoods of the actors of the sector as well as the conditions of life of farmers while allowing for the development of the entire dairy sector in Djibouti. In the framework of this program for the promotion and protection of human rights, the Committee of Community Management of Wahda Daba has organized yesterday afternoon a ceremony to raise awareness on the rights of the child. This ceremony is organized in close collaboration with the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNFD, and UNICEF, and is initiated to assert these young people in their rights as to obtain the national identity card or the refusal of accession for young girls or even to fight against drugs. The ceremony was chaired by the coordinator of the Committee of Community Management, Mrs. Fatuma Muhammad Hassan, who reminded us that this kind of awareness are regularly organized to improve the rights of the children. And a similar meeting on the promotion and protection of the rights of the children was also organized in District 5 yesterday afternoon. The Committee of Community Management of this neighborhood, the UNFD and UNICEF, have jointly organized this meeting. All topics relating to the rights of the children have been raised. The Republic of Djibouti is a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Children as well as the African Charter on the Rights as well and Property of Beings. Women and young people take an active part in these meetings aimed at promoting the rights of children for their protection, education and health. And now in Dakhil, following the heavy rains that hit the region in its outskirts yesterday evening, the flood of Wadi of Grabus is agitated today at 7 a.m. The traffic on the National Road 1 is fully blocked in both directions from Grabus. The users of the road, such as Ethiopian trucks, piled on queue of 30 kilometers each in the two directions. The regulation is maintained by the gendarmes of Grabus and those of a brigade in Dakhil on both ends of the Wadi. The consequences are dramatic in the region, especially at the circulation. As you can see on these images, the circulation is stopped in both directions at this time on the National Road 1 between Djibouti and Galafi, through which pass many cars, including the large Ethiopian trucks. The Wadi is in flood and the cars may not circulate on the National Road. In the face of this situation and not to cloud the traffic on the National Road 1 between Djibouti and Galafi, the Prefect of Dakhil, Mohammed Sheko, asks the users of the road to wait at Galafi or PK12 until the Wadi passes. And moving on to the news outside the country, death toll in South Asia floods rises to more than 750 people have died in floods across South Asia, officials said on Monday, with monsoon rains also causing the deaths of hundreds of animals. The human toll is steadily rising across India, Nepal and Bangladesh following the latest in a series of deluges since August 10 as the annual monsoon hits the north and east of the region. The heavy rain has also taken a toll on India's wildlife, with rescue teams pulling stranded animals from raging waters in Kaziranga National Park, the sanctuary in northeastern Assam State, home to the world's largest population of rare one-horned rhinos and other endangered species, has been especially hard hit. Across Assam and West Bengal, 122 people have died, while 69 people have perished in Uttar Pradesh state. In the Himalayan region in India's northwest, the landslides caused by heavy rain have claimed 54 lives, the vast majority in a huge avalanche of mud that swept two buses off a mountainside. Across the border in Bangladesh, 115 people have died and 5.7 million have been affected by raging downpours. And Donald Trump presented his strategy for Afghanistan. President Donald Trump has used a nationally televised address to outline for a war-weary nation the strategy he believes with the best position for the U.S. to eventually declare victory in Afghanistan after 16 years of combat and life lost. The speech Monday night gave Trump a chance for a reset after one of the most difficult weeks of his presidency. Trump tweeted Saturday that he had reached a decision on the way forward in Afghanistan a day after he reviewed war options with his national security team in a meeting at Camp David, Maryland. The president offered no clues about whether he will send thousands of more U.S. troops into Afghanistan or exercise his authority and as a commander-in-chief to order that they be withdrawn from the America's longest war. But signs pointed in the direction of Trump continuing the U.S. commitment there. That's it for this evening edition. It is nice to have you with us. Enjoy the rest of our programs.